It's Malachi Church versus State. Smooth sailing. You've heard that expression. Life is never smooth sailing, and it wasn't. Yesterday, if you can see my face, it's pretty red. Of course, my hair is always this beautiful. But me and my son, who's 16 years old, we picked up a sailboat, an old 24-foot. It's an older boat. I think a friend of mine couldn't afford it anymore, so he gave it to me not to be able to afford it anymore. That's just fine. It's got a brand new little 9.9 Merc. That alone's like worth $1,200, so I figured, whatever. If he wants to get rid of it, fine. I'll keep it for a while. It's summertime. But I've never sailed a boat before. Bone boats, driven boats. I live in the Puget Sound. I don't have a problem with boats. But sailboats is another story, because that's a whole other world, You got to sail, you got to be able to tack, you got to be able to do this, that, all this stuff. Never done any of that stuff before. So most people, unlike myself, who loves a challenge, and I'm not afraid of anything, I thought, well, I guess if I'm going to do a maiden voyage as now a sailor on a sailboat, I'm going to go close to 80 miles, because that's the way I am. But I don't worry about it. But that's life. That's how I am in life, and it's done good and it's done bad. But we started off in the morning. It was gray skies, so we didn't know what was going on. By the time we got there, by the time we got there, it became really sunny. Beautiful day, Washington State. Not a lot of wind, but that meant it was calmer waters, not a lot of ups and downs, so to speak. But as we started off, I'll show you a little map here. This is where we started, right here, Port Townsend. Right at the end of Straits of Juan de Fuca. They come in here, and this is the main route for the boats that come into Seattle. They all leave through here. Everett, they come all through here. But we started about right here. Get across here about that point. Not a lot of problems, but no wind. Right as you start getting about in this area, now you start hitting the waves. So if you've never been on a boat, these are big swells. You start hitting the big swells here, but once you start getting around, now the swells are kind of following you down to a certain point, and then they start doing this. But by the time we got here, now we had a little bit of wind pushing us. But the problem is the wind's all going this way. So we had to do a little bit of, what do you call that, cutting, or I can't remember what they call it now. But anyway, so we have to kind of do this back and forth stuff, along with the motor, because doing a 9.9 motor on close to 80 miles or 70 some miles would have taken like 12 hours. It's insane. So we made our way down to here, and all through that, it's quite a bit of mileage to that there. Get to about here. Now there's absolutely no wind. So now we have to work our way into a little inlet here. And that's like in life. Sometimes, we start off with sunny skies, we have a little bit of wind, and we hit some chops. We deal with that. We still move forward, but the wind's not at our backs, it's in our face. It's kind of like life, nothing's perfect. No matter what you do, you can't win. Some days the wind is blowing from the north to the south. That's the way it usually is. It comes in through there and kind of goes out there. But on the day that we planned, it's like life. On the day that we planned our thing, just so happens we get screwed. The wind's blowing the wrong way, right? But that's fine. We deal with it. We move forward. It's like I was saying, we tack. We tack back and forth, back and forth. And we don't always have everything. I didn't have a big motor. I had a 9.9 Merc. I had one mainsail. I didn't have a jib. There's no jib on this boat. Well, there is, but we just didn't put it up. Because we're not that, we don't know, we're not sailors. But that's not a problem. We still managed to do, and I have friends who are sailors, and they go, wow, you did that in that amount of time, you did pretty good. So I feel good about myself. But this is life. So you take off, you think things are good, you hit some bumps, you know, life's not giving you your wind, it's blowing you the wrong direction, but you make it, you get to this point, we got to this point here. Now there's no wind. Well, that's great, but not on these waters, because the current's pushing you this way again. So now we have to work in here a little bit, so we're not, you know, hurting our little motor so much that we can actually do something. And then you're thinking, oh, okay, by the time I get to here, which we're wanting to get to there, by the time we get to there, we should be all right. Well, no, because usually the wind oftentimes is blowing this way. It didn't want to blow that way. As a matter of fact, throughout this whole stretch here, the wind wasn't even blowing at all. So we took our sail down. We thought, well, we'll take our sail down, we'll just putz it into Everett. By the time we get up to Muckleteel, and this is life, man, now the wind starts pounding. I mean, like hardcore. So we put the main back up. And all the way across through here, it was going pretty good. Matter of fact, by right here, it starts really picking up. This is just past Muckleteel. Really starts picking up. And I got a video of my kid where I was yelling at him, telling him, get out of the cabin, because he was kind of getting scared or something. I don't know. Because and he stopped the video just as it starting to really tip, because it started to really tip there for a while, like sailboats do. And it was fun. I loved it, man. It was like, but it was hard, man. That I had to really rank on the whatever you call it, the udder or whatever you call it, to make sure that it allowed us to go straight, because the wind was blowing from the north. And it usually doesn't. It usually blows from the south. And I thought, well, that would be great because it'd help us push us. Well, it didn't. So we had to kind of tack against the wind, so to speak. So doing that deal to get to here. And then this is a major Navy base. So then you got to watch your P's and Q's when you're around there. So that was another thing. So here's the thing, is that gray skies is still new to the game, going out, everything is really against you, even though it's blue skies. It's like being a Christian. Hey, I'm a Christian, everything should be good. No, God's are blue skies, but here's the thing. We're not always going to get the current that we want, right? Sometimes it's going to be bigger waves than we'd expect, but we ride them, we make it through. Then sometimes we're going, well, God, you know, hey, we're Christians, so we should get the wind on our backs. No, the world doesn't do it that way. The world gives you the wind in your face, but you still got to persevere. You just have to tack a little bit. That means you have to divert side to side to make it work. You know, it's like I'm diverting this camera so I don't look dark. Maybe you don't want to see me. I don't care. Anyways, sometimes in life, like I said, you have to go into a cove. Like when we had to go into this cove here for a little while, you know? So you have to make diversion. Sometimes when you turn the corner and you're seeing the end result, right? That's where I was going to park the boat in Port of Everett. You're going, as soon as I make this corner, it should be good because the wind is always blowing from the south. There's absolutely no wind. It's still blue skies. It's still beautiful. You still have God on your side. He's still the blue skies, right? No wind. That's the way life is. He's still putzing, right? Now you can see home. You can visually see it as we turned around through here at Muckleteel. Now we can see it. Oh, now since we're almost close to our destination, that's when the world really kicks up the frickin' storm. And how are you gonna deal with it? Are you gonna, you know, there was a couple guys, I guess yesterday, a guy died because their boat capsized. You know, two guys, there were three in a boat, and they rescued two of them, and some other guy died or something like that. But even when you see the end result, you know, it doesn't mean there's smooth sailing. Absolutely not. That's usually the roughest time, is when you're just close to your goal, just close to your, you know, that finishing line, right? Then you hit your roughest water. So let me show you a little video here real quick. This is when I actually had, just as the wind started really rocking, My kid was inside the boat, I think a little scared or something. I don't know what his problem was, but I'm just forcing that oar or rudder to get us to where we need to go. But I thought that's kind of funny. Maybe I'll let you guys view it. I know I should start editing this stuff, but you know, it's not like I get 1 million views or nothing. I'd be lucky if I make 100 views, but I don't care. I don't do this for views. I do this to share with the few people that it touches, and then that's all that matters. Then let them go touch 1 million people. Here we go. This is a day with my kid here. There's a big $1 million boat that was around here somewhere, right there. That's just passing Muckleteel. That's when it starts to really start curving over. But almost at home. And that's when the storms start. That's when frickin' things start happening. That's when my kid starts freaking out, you know. I just told him, you know, get your crap together and let's move on. But we had a lot of water just break the bow. I mean, it was pretty rough right then. But as soon as we got into port, you know, as soon as we got in a little protection area of the cove there, and we were able to park the boat, all things were fine. But like I said, throughout the whole experience, you know, it was beautiful. It was sunny. Let's see if I got another. This is another video my son took, just to show you what a beautiful day it was. But at the same time, it was a beautiful day, but there was no perfect anything. No wind when we needed wind, you know, it was either blowing the wrong direction or there was none, and all this kind of stuff. Let me show you this second one here. Yeah, let's go. Oh. There's my fat ass sitting on there. I can't remember where that was. That's just as we left Port Townsend in the morning. And so, you know, everything was good. Now, let's see if there's another one here. It might be interesting to people, I don't know. There's a... Let's see if this one might be a better one. There we go. This is when we had to go into that cove. As you can see, it's a little... You can't see anything because my kid's the one taking videos. I'll post videos up. Maybe edit something together. Anyways, here's the thing. Life is never perfect. There's no such thing called smooth sailing. You just got to deal with it. And here's the thing. When you're getting towards the end, reaching your goal, that's when the worst things happen. I know it took 15 minutes to say that, but, you know, it's just the way it is. You guys have a good one. Hug your kids, call your parents, go see a neighbor, repent and be baptized. Malachi signing out.